is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan, with your host, Nancy Smitham, and get the latest from Alpena Community College with Dr. Don McMaster. And now, today's Talk of the Town.
Good morning and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Nancy Smitham. My first guest today is Preza Morrison from the Salvation Army. Good morning, Preza.
Good morning. Thank you for having me here.
Thanks for being here. And I know I don't have to ask if you're busy. You have your summer program going on. Tell me about that.
So. Yep, we have a summer program for at-risk youth. And at this year, we have about 9 kids that we're working with. And the good thing about the program is this program they're referred to us by other agencies who feel like these are youth that maybe need a little extra help this summer. And so we do things like educational things, like we have them read, and we have special speakers come in and teach them new things. I brought some craft items that they've done.
I see, very nice.
Yep, and so we do that. We've already gone to pick some berries and then make jam after we did that. We've been to AJ's, of course, and we've been to Arzo's, and we've also been to the museum today. We'll be going to Besser's Museum.
Very good.
And so we try to get them kind of the full force of who they are and to try to help them where we can.
What ages are they?
They're elementary school age kids.
Okay.
Yep, so this year they seem to be younger elementary. So mainly second graders to kindergartners.
Well, that's kind of nice that, you know, they don't seem to fall through the cracks then. That's really great.
No. Yeah, we try to do what we can. The parents need the assistance and the kids need the assistance, and we have a good relationship with the parents to find out what are the needs of your youth so we can make sure that we fulfill their needs.
Perfect. And you have a summer feeding program?
Yes. With that comes our summer feeding program too. And not only is it to serve our kids, but it's to serve the community. So anybody in Alpena County can come to the Salvation Army Monday through Friday from 12 to 12:30 is when we serve the food. And really, it's a drive-through, so you don't have to come and sit down anywhere because of COVID. We thought it'd be better for a lot of people to come drive through. Not only do they get a lunch, but they also get a breakfast for the next morning. And again, that's Monday through Friday from 12 to 12:30. And anyone, again, who lives in Alpena County.
Income guidelines, you don't have to sign any papers, they don't need to know you, and that's pretty wonderful.
That's right. And we know that there's a lot of people that are struggling right now, and they may not receive any assistance from the government, but they're still just cutting it really close to whether they can make it, and move forward. And so we want to provide something that they can take a deep breath and say, well, at least our children will get a nice lunch and a breakfast in the morning, and so now we can use our funds to help pay the rent or the utilities or whatever assistance they need.
Exactly. And I had occasion to be at your store yesterday. I was amazed at how busy the store is, how nice it looks, how clean and neat and tidy. And, you know, that's a wonderful resource in our community.
Oh, yes, it is. And the good thing is the funds that are raised at that store stay in the community. And so we then can use it again to help people with rent and utilities and with food in our pantry. And this year we have an agency who gave us a fridge. So we're really excited about the refrigerator because we can put in produce and be able to give healthy food to the people too. So not just a bunch of canned goods, but now we can get that. So we're hoping to get the refrigerator within the next couple weeks and provide those kind of needs for people too.
And how do people sign up for that program?
All they need to do is call our office or come in our office and we'll be able to serve them right there. And again, that's Monday through Friday from 9 to 3:30 our hours are.
And you have a pretty nice pantry with a wide variety of items in it, personal care items and food. And
yes. We've increased in our personal care items so much that we had to confiscate another office to just make for the personal care items. So again, and donations are always accepted. So if people have personal care items, especially for the women's feminine items, we always could use those because that's something that they can't spend with their food stamps and things like that. So that really helps.
And you know, you're so visible during the holiday season, but it's reassuring to know. And you also offer help, like you said, with utilities and all of those things. And is that the same thing? Just come into the office and...
Yes. Yep. Just come into the office, or again, if you want to call and make an appointment, because I'm sure that there's some, depending on the funding that we receive, they may have to go to another agency first to get a rejection notice before they come to us. So it's good to just get a call and let Kathy, our caseworker, kind of talk it through with them and help them, and she's always there to help them. She's an amazing asset for us.
And your donation process is so easy. Pull around the back of the building, a little bell rings, somebody comes out, they unload your car, they offer you a slip if you'd like one for your donation. If not, and you're gone, and it's just so easy to donate there.
And hopefully you pick up your little coupon too for a discount in the store. When you donate, you get a discount for the store too.
And what items don't you take in the store?
Well, I don't know. You'd have to check there for sure. I think like maybe things that like beds, certain kinds of beds.
Okay.
We don't take mattresses and box springs and items like that. And again, we would like to look at the items because sometimes they'll drop off items that are not resellable. And so
then you
know,
have
if
to
they
pay
can,
to get
yes,
rid of them.
yeah, we pay quite a bit for the dumpster to come, for them to come and take the items that are in the dumpster. So, and we don't like to do that. We're working right now with recycling to see how much of the items we can recycle instead.
Perfect.
Most of the clothing we can recycle and make them into rags and provide them for across the world too.
Okay. Now you had a couple more things you wanted to talk about, so we're getting close to being out of time.
Yep. We also, coming up in August is our back to school supply collection, and we collect school supplies for the students, and then we give them out later in August so that the children can go to school and they don't wonder, how am I going to have these supplies for school? Because again, some kids cannot afford the basics for school. And so we are working, again, this year, great, we were working with the United Way too, to do it, try to do it the same weekend so that they can come to any site they can, and we'll be able to work together to provide the backpacks and school supplies for any of the students here in Alpena.
Very good. Very good. And what about volunteers? Do you have a need for volunteers?
Oh, we always need to have a need for volunteers. So all you need to do is come into our office, and we have a volunteer form that we have you fill out, and then we can have you volunteer. And if you're like seasonal stuff, because again at Christmas time we're always looking for people to fill our toy shop and take people around to pick out the items that they need for toys. So if you're just a seasonal person, then that's fine too.
Okay, what's the best way to reach you?
Oh, the best way to reach us, there's two ways to reach us. First, our phone number, which is 989-358-2769. And also you can go on our website, which is, again, www.samich, so Salvation Army Mich, and then .org/Alpena. And that will give you information about us and even a donation button, so you can push a button. So if you can't volunteer, but you know that there's a need out there and you want to donate, then you can do it through that. Or again, come to our office at 722 North 2nd Avenue.
Okay, and the thrift store is US 23, and what are the hours? Do you know the hours of the thrift store?
Monday through Friday. Now it's Monday through Saturday from 10 to 5.
And go every day because it changes every day.
Oh, yes. And Friday, if you go on our Facebook page, on Friday, you usually post all kinds of really great items in the store. So you can look and say, oh, I want that, but then you got to quickly get to the store before it's gone.
Okay. Well, we're out of time. I want to thank you so much for being here. And, thank all of your staff for all the wonderful things that you do in our community. It's greatly appreciated.
And thank to the volunteers and the supporters of the Salvation Army. We appreciate it. We wouldn't be able to do what we do if it wasn't for their help.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll be right back with Joe Gentry from the United Way following these messages. Hi, welcome back. My last guest today is Joe Gentry, and today Joe is wearing his Mid-Michigan Medical Center hat. Hi, Joe.
Hi, Nancy. How are you?
I know you wear many hats in our community, and as we just briefly mentioned before we started, we're so excited about Mid-Michigan in our community. We're so excited about the new additions that are coming up. We're so excited about all the technology and all the wonderful things that are going to be available right in our community.
With all you have to do is drive down Chisholm Street, and you see their investment in our community. It's significant, it's impressive, and it will provide improved services for our community, which is great.
It is. And today we want to talk about the Alferez Memorial Race that's coming up. So start me out. You know a lot about the race.
The race, it's the 20th anniversary of the Alferez race. It's a number of different events. We have a half marathon, which runs on the trail, the old rail to trail. It starts just short of, just north of Bolton. We bus everybody out that participates in the half marathon early in the morning. They run back in. It finishes right in front of the Besser Living Center, right across from the finish line of where the 5K finishes. There's a 5K run as well and a 1 mile. There is an 18.5-mile bike race, which goes out Misery Bay Road and comes down that nature trail, which comes back in off the end of Hamilton Road. It finishes also right by the Besser Living Center. And there is a 8.5-mile bike tour for those that don't want to be competitive, don't want the longer distance, and want to go on a bike tour. So we get participation in all those events. Probably the most is in the 5K, but the bike events have been growing significantly. People enjoy it. It's on Labor Day Saturday, and it's a great community event.
And it's a wonderful fundraiser.
It is. It's a chance for Mid-Michigan to recognize their corporate sponsors and other sponsors organizations that have donated money, time, energy to improve the services available in our community through Mid-Michigan. And the monies raised go back to the Alferez Scholarship Fund and also go back to the Cancer Center. And they're pretty significant, and I'm just delighted to be able to attach to this event. I mean, I like running. I like promoting running and exercise in our community, and I've been involved for the past 20 years, and it's great to see that it's still going on and people enjoy it.
Okay, so how do people register?
They can register online at www.midmichigan.org/race.
Okay.
There will be applications, paper applications available. Shortly they'll be distributed. You could probably pick one up at Mid-Michigan. I know through the Bay Athletic Center, we'll distribute them at the Chamber of Commerce. And various other locations where paper applications are available.
And it's a wonderful family event. When you drive by there, before when you used to be able to drive by and see the race, now they're building construction there, but when you used to see, you know, little kids and adults and family members and bikes and strollers, it's just a wonderful family event.
So the finish line is right on the corner of Johnson and Chisholm.
Okay, so we'll still be able to see.
It's, you know, where the county, or where the old county jail is, that big grassy area and parking lot right on the corner.
Okay.
Is where all the activity takes place. So it is very visible, highly visible to people and traffic that are coming by. So, and I'm happy to announce this year that Dr. Brendan and his family, Leah and Penelope and Charlotte Comboy, are the honorary chairpersons.
Ooh.
They've been very supportive of the event in the past, and it's really nice to be able to have them as our honorary chair people.
And they're wonderful community supporters. I know he's done some events with me and for me, and yeah, he always volunteers his time and energy in the community, and that's pretty wonderful.
It is. So, the other event that I would mention is Lafarge Quarry out in Grand Lake. They have a quarry run, which is coming up in August, and they raise significant funds that go directly to the Cancer Center. And so I know there's information available on their website as well, and that's a big supporter of the Cancer Center as well.
Okay, now I'm going to ask you to put your United Way hat on for a moment. So Prisa Morrison was just here from Salvation Army talking about the backpacks in schools. How do we participate?
On the Saturday, August 7th, and Friday, August 6th, we will be set up, the United Way will be set up to accept donated school supplies in the Walgreen parking lot, right on the corner. And we work with the school success workers that we give them the supplies because they have an in to the kids that need these supplies to start school and that are in the position where we can be able to help them. Financial donations are accepted as well. I know both through the Salvation Army and United Way. It's a great way to get kids prepared and starting the year with the right stuff.
And you know it is, thinking of who knows what school's going to look like this year, but going back to school with a nice backpack and supplies, I mean, just that alone has to give you a good attitude towards going back to school and getting ready to go to the next grade and start learning and buckling down and all that good stuff.
It does. One of the other things that we had an anonymous corporate donor who provided us with 1,400 pair of Merrell low-cut hiking shoes and high-cut hiking boots. We've been able to distribute over 700 pair to areas in need, whether at Metal Lodge or the school success workers, both in Alcona, Hillman, Atlanta, in Alpena. We've been able to distribute these to kids in need. We still have about 800 pair left.
Wow.
These are all winter style, so we're really looking forward to getting these distributed this fall. So
perfect.
For these kids, and these are high quality, high value, really nice shoes and boots.
Perfect.
So we've been afforded this opportunity because of our corporate relationship with the anonymous corporate donor.
perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we have about 1 minute left, so just wondering what's coming up in the fall for United Way. Your big drive again this year, is it going to look different? Or?
Our drive is, and I'm happy to announce, our campaign chair this year is Eric Peterson, the owner of the Fresh Palate.
My son-in-law.
And Eric is very involved in social justice issues, which the United Way is as well. And we're just pleased to have Eric as our campaign chair. We'll be doing a free drive-through lunch campaign kickoff, tentatively set for the second week in September.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for the information. Thank you for the update on the Ella Ferris race. I look forward to seeing all the people there, because it sure is wonderful to see that sea of T-shirts and know it's a wonderful event for our community.
It is. Thank you, Nancy, for having me.
Please stay tuned for Dr. Don McMaster following these messages.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Dr. Don McMaster, president of Alpena Community College. Pleased to have as our guest this morning Cindy DeRocher, who wears many hats at ACC, athletic director, women's basketball coach, and student housing director. Welcome, Cindy.
Well, thank you. Happy to be here.
Well, let's start in that order. How are things looking athletically from your standpoint?
Well, you know, the fact that we're not wearing masks now is a step in the right direction. You know, after last year, you know, recruiting seems to be going well for all teams, and you know, had the little change with Mark stepping down from basketball, and Coach Allen's now taken over on the men's side, and I'll step up on the women's side, and you know, so things are going well. You know, just to highlight a couple points from last year, I think some of this we've talked about, but our men's cross-country team, phenomenal in the classroom, of being a leader in the nation with Team GPA. This spring, our conference, we had 3 teams make all-conference with Team GPA, and 2 others were pretty close. So
very good.
I'm proud of our coaches and our players for what they have done in the classroom in a difficult year.
Absolutely.
So,
and the women's softball team did great.
Oh yeah, that was exciting. Boy, they had a nice run, made it to the districts, and lost on a solo home run.
Ooh.
You know, so, but I know it was very exciting for the players in that program and very proud of our coach and our team.
Yes, you should be, and I was too. You know, I was fortunate to see that district game, and it was two very well-matched teams, good players, but our sportsmanship and in what turned out to be a disappointing loss was something I was quite proud of.
Yes.
Yeah, and now you're stepping back in as or stepping in at ACC as women's basketball coach. Of course, you've had great success elsewhere as a women's coach. So what's it like being back in the saddle?
Well, a little bit, you know. A funny thing to put it in perspective, I was a full-time coach for 12 years, but that was before any of our players on the team were even born, so it was a while ago.
Yeah.
But no, things are going well. You know, we got a full roster of some good players, and so pretty excited about that. And,
are you?
Yeah.
Good. And do people change in 12 years, or do they pretty much stay the same overall?
You know, parts of the game have changed. Well, I should say outside of the court have changed a little bit, but you know, basketball's still basketball. You got to put the ball in the hole and
figure out how to do that.
Learn how to play together. So, yeah.
Yeah, you know, basketball has changed, and you know, as I watch the college and pro ranks, everyone's around the three-point line, and you know, the lane is pretty much empty.
Yeah.
Does that factor into women's ball too? Or is it...
Yeah, with good competitive teams. You know, the athleticism now of what we know of how to train, and players training year-round for sports. It's definitely put a different dimension in the game. So. Yeah,
and you have at least one very fine returning post player.
Yes.
Jade.
Yeah.
Jade Schultz.
Yeah, we're very fortunate that we have 5 players coming back from last year's team.
Wonderful.
So that's always good at the community college level to have experience coming back. And yeah, Jade, you know, dominated in the post last year and in our conference. So we look forward to that.
And an outstanding softball pitcher as well.
Oh yeah. Her you know, part of our success in softball was having, you know, pitching's a lot of it, and Jade can put it across the plate and at a really good speed. So yeah.
Pitching is important in any form of baseball, for sure. So I'd like to just touch on a topic you and I talk about quite a bit, and it's part of your wide range of things that you're responsible for, and that is housing. Yeah. And many folks may not know or that we have student housing, and we have room for 64 students.
Correct.
In that housing. What are we finding?
Well, the housing market's very tight. We've been full in housing, as we usually are, from right around May. We're full.
For the fall.
For fall, yeah. This year, as you know, we've had a lot of summer housing. We've rented a lot of units for summer housing for students from other colleges here doing their internships. We had a small class of our own, the corrections officers. So I fielded a lot of phone calls from different people looking for housing, and we have a long list of students who don't have housing for fall. And the market's very tight in finding rentals. So if we can have anybody from the community who might have a rental or some space to, you know, for our students, we'd love to hear from them. You know, the phone call I'm getting right now from parents of students on that list is, I don't want to panic, but, you know, we're 4 hours away. My sons or daughters, you know, they're happy to be in, you know, our nursing program, our utility tech, or our welding program, and they've made a lot of calls and they're not finding anything. So we're trying to assist with that right now. So.
Yeah, that's a really important point. While we're Alpena Community College, we do have programs that draw from way beyond Alpena.
Correct.
Utility tech is a primary example, but nursing, welding, athletics. Athletics, yeah. These are folks that come from outside the community. They need a place to live. How many, I guess, just to kind of illustrate the point, how many of the 64 spots would be occupied, say, by UTT students?
Close to 60%, maybe 55. Throw in concrete, tech, that's another, athletics. You know, and what we don't realize, even some of what we would consider our local students, if you're from Scotia or Tawas,
you want to live in Alpena.
You want to live in Alpena. You know, so our athletes, a lot of our athletes in our volleyball and women's basketball program are from around the area, but it's a little bit too far to drive for some of them. So.
It sure is. Yeah, in January and February, you don't want to be driving from 60 or 70 minutes away every day. Right. So the college has, you know, this is, in a way, it's a good problem to have. It's not an easy fix, but I think there's some interest in creating more housing. But that's an expensive proposition and not a short-term solution. So your request to the community would be, if you have a place to rent or you know somebody who does, please reach out. How would they reach you?
They can call the housing office, 989-358-7394. You know, I think we are going to put something out there on Facebook and in the paper, and you know, any way to try and drum up some, you know, let people know our need. Right. And help these families out that are trying to get their students here in college.
Right. Wonderful. More supply will result in more enrollment, which is good for the college in every way. And less supply will result in diminished enrollment, which is not good.
Right.
So thank you, Cindy, for everything you do, and thank you for coming today.
My
and
pleasure.
Thank you, folks, for watching Talk of the Town. We'll see you again next week.
This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan, with your host, Nancy Smitham, and get the latest from Alpena Community College with Dr. Don McMaster. And now, today's Talk of the Town.